It was a fairy tale life, but behind closed doors in their van, things were unraveling.
People that didn't even know her were like, we have to find her.
Who leaves with the love of his life and returns without her?
Don't miss the series premiere of Sight Unseen, Wednesday, April 3rd on the CW.
You want the police to help you steal something worth $33 million?
This is my chance to fix the past. If we pull this off, we'll both get what we want. We can.
Tonight here on KION News at 10, the city of Salinas making an announcement they've appointed a city manager.
Do you think that there is an obvious lack of transparency?
We hear from people tonight wanting council to gather more feedback on city business before moving forward with their decisions.
Our deputies inside the jail during this incident were caught by surprise.
And as the inmates who are accused of brutally attacking deputies at the Monterey County Jail go before a judge, we learn more about how that attack happened. And it looks like we're staying dry and pleasant for much of the week. Chief Meteorologist Dan Cianca tells us when the unsettled weather moves in. And it's farm day for school kids in San Benito County. We go to the fairgrounds in Tres Pinos. KION News at 10 starts right now.
Covering the Central Coast, this is KION News First at 10.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us tonight here for KION News at 10. I'm Veronica Macias. Tonight, Salinas City Council has officially appointed Rene Mendez as Salinas' new city manager. Mendez is set to leave his current role as Watsonville City Mayor manager there and step into this new role come May. Now, City Council unanimously appointed him earlier today. Mendez will be taking over for interim city manager Jim Pia, who has been serving in this role since October. Mendez has over 30 years of government experience, including positions in Watsonville and Gonzales. However, during public comments today, some people were critical of the selection process.
Do you think that there is an obvious lack of transparency, but there is a clear lack of communication between what's going on in the city and communicating that to the constituents?
I just feel like the way the city is running, how we hire and elect people, is not the proper way.
However, Councilmember McShane says there was plenty of digital engagement with hundreds providing their feedback. Mendez is scheduled to start on May 28th with an annual base salary of $300,000. Tonight, the Monterey County Sheriff's Search and Rescue Team, drone team, and the California Highway Patrol, a helicopter here, they've all been working together to locate a 30-year-old woman who went missing while she was hiking. Her name is Carolyn Meister, described as a white female, 5'6", 150 pounds, and she has long brown wavy hair, likely pulled up here. She was last seen wearing teal-colored boots and carrying a blue bag. Carolyn left the Tassajara Zen Mountain Center in Carmel Valley at about 10 a.m. on Monday. She said that she was going to hike a trail that loops around the Zen Center. There was also a mention here of hiking the Wind Cave Trail. She was only carrying snacks, though, for the day and not dressed or equipped to stay overnight. So anyone with information who can help locate her, you're please asked to contact the Monterey County Sheriff's Office. Tonight, we're learning more about Monterey County Sheriff deputies who were completely caught off guard here inside a gang unit over this past weekend. Tonight, we're learning how it all happened as the 5 accused inmates involved here were in court today. KION's Anya Romero reports.
Trouble in the gang housing unit at the Monterey County Jail now has 5 inmates in more legal trouble.
One inmate was tattooing another inmate, and the deputies needed to get the tattooing instrument.
According to the Monterey County Sheriff's Office, 2 deputies initially responded to the incident.
So in this particular case, the initial response were 2 deputies trying to contact one person. That is not uncommon. There was no way for them to know that 4 additional incarcerated subjects we're going to come after them.
All were hurt, but one was severely injured after the suspect, Mario Rodriguez, snagged a baton and struck a deputy identified as Deputy Macias 4 times.
Our officers are trained in defensive tactics. The first thing that you do is physically defend yourself. You use your hands, you use your arms, you use your legs, you use your body. But we also are equipped with tools. And in this particular case, as we have disclosed, one of those tools available to our deputies was a baton.
In court on Tuesday, all 5 suspects were present. 19-year-old Mario Rodriguez, 27-year-old Joey Valdez, 20-year-old Adam Villarreal, 27-year-old Justin Michael Solorio, and 26-year-old Jose Antonio Mejia. But the hearing was pushed back. Brandon tells me if the odds are in favor of this going to trial.
There'll be appointed counsel to defend them on these charges, and it'll be set over for a preliminary hearing, which is a hearing that takes place in front of a judge to see if the case should proceed to trial, see if there's enough evidence.
And do you think it will?
I'm confident.
Dania tells us that the next court date is scheduled for tomorrow at 1:30. 4 inmates could face assault on a peace officer, which is likely. All are facing drug-related charges after drugs were allegedly found inside their cells. Right now, we're going to take a first look at weather tonight. Chief Meteorologist Dan Cianca, it's been very nice outside.
Yeah, you know, we've had some great weather here over the last week or so. That is going to change eventually, but we have a couple more days of, well, nice weather, I guess, to talk about. High pressure still in control, though we were a little bit cooler today than yesterday. And this ridge of high pressure is keeping dry air in place here across much of the West Coast. At the surface, it's been a little different. We have a marine layer in place, and with that marine layer, we did see some low clouds and fog this morning and may potentially see some again tomorrow morning. Although, as we look at things tonight, we're looking pretty good still. Visibility great at all area airports, and our low cloud tracker not showing much out there. There were a few low clouds around the peninsula around sunset, but as of right now, we're still looking pretty clear out there. Other story has been the temperatures. Obviously, it's been very warm over the last couple of days, and we cooled off a bit today. That trend will continue to tomorrow. But out there tonight, even with these clear skies, we're still in the 50s for many locations, and even Big Sur and Gilroy this hour still in the 60s. So some pretty mild readings out there. The rest of your overnight, some low cloud cover and fog expected to develop, especially around the Monterey Peninsula, along the coast, and perhaps in some of the valley bottoms. Destination, mid 40s, mid to upper 40s by tomorrow morning. We're going to talk about the cool down ahead, plus that next chance of rain. I know we've been dry for a while, but it's going to change come this weekend. We'll have that coming up.
Sounds good, Dan. Thank you. Tonight, the city of Watsonville exploring the deactivation of a runway at the Watsonville Municipal Airport. According to a recent report by the city, the visibility for the Crosswinds runway is poor for pilots there. City Council decided to direct staff to examine what the deactivation of the runway could mean for the city. The city also says that it could bring the development of new housing into that area.
In order for us to change anything within the airport, we have to go through a process. So we have to go through the FAA, we have to do an application, we have to amend our plan, we have to address all the safety concerns and issues. So it just doesn't happen overnight. So we have to work with the FAA. So there is, depending on what the council does, if anything, there's a 2 to 4 year process to get it all done.
By the way, that there is Renee Mendez, who is now the city manager for the city of Salinas. City Council here in Watsonville also discussed the possibility of shortening the runway rather than deactivating it altogether, and we're keeping a close eye on this one. In Monterey, City Council approved a new rental assistance program which would provide $250,000 to people who need it. Some of the requirements under the draft guidelines include living in the city of Monterey for at least a year, a history of making those payments on time, and making less than 120% of the area median income. Under the current plan, the city could provide applicants up to 3 months of rental assistance, not to exceed $5,000 though per year. Additional assistance would also be provided for housing and legal assistance for families. Over in Hollister, a woman here facing attempted murder charges tonight for trying to kill a man who was clinging to the hood of her car. On Monday evening, police were called to help the victim, who was seen on the car driving along 4th Street and then Central Avenue. When officers arrived, though, it was too late and that victim had fallen off. People were already tending to him. The victim was flown to Natividad Hospital with life-threatening injuries. The driver tried to escape, yet she was tracked down through the flock camera system and was detained in the city of Gilroy. In San Benito County tonight, the location for the new Hollister High School has been narrowed down now to an edge of the city here. According to San Benito High School District Superintendent, the school was approved to be built along Wright Road across from Abraham Road. This is video of what it looks like now, basically the northwest part of the city. A lot of farmland in that area. It's a property almost 50 acres in size that was purchased for over $2 million. The district says they'll get community feedback next on this site. Still ahead here on KION News at 10, third graders here from all over San Benito County. They took part in Farm Day. What exactly is it? We take a look at this event, which is an effort to raise awareness about the contribution of agriculture to our local community. Right now, taking a live look from our Mount Toro camera in Salinas. We are quiet out there. No unsettled weather for now. Chief Meteorologist Dan Cianca has a full forecast when we come back.
Carl Cook, weekday mornings on KION News Channel 46.
At first, I use Better Than Bouillon for broth, and then stir fries, sauces, even marinades. And with all the varieties, organic, reduced sodium, and now the culinary collection, it's like the deliciousness never ends. Make everything better with Better Than Bouillon.
Just one kiss. With Reynolds Wrap, cooking becomes so easy, you can feel like the chef of your kitchen. Easy prep, easy cook, easy clean. Reynolds Wrap.
Now when you hear that music, you know what time it is.
It's finally time to do some dancing.
Hello, friends. Jim Nance of CBS Sports, and catch all the action of March Madness right here on my hometown station, KION CBS.
This is your invitation to experience a feeling only found in the Lexus Performance line. Experience the exhilaration of the Lexus Performance line and some of the best offers of the year on select models at the Invitation to Lexus sales event.
Get special offers on the 2024 IS350 F Sport.
No more leaving things unsaid.
What do you say we get the band back together?
We need to solve this before there's another victim.
You ever work a serial killer case?
You're surrounded, buddy.
Don't!
Okay, you can try more often.
Knew you'd come around.
Walker, Texas Ranger, you're under arrest.
Walker, season premiere Wednesday, April 3rd on the CW.
Welcome back. Taking a full look at weather now with Chief Meteorologist Dan Cianca. Hey, Dan.
I'd like to pose a very important question that you just asked me right before we came back to break.
What are we tracking?
Veronica looked at me dead in the eye and she said, "Storm tracker?" Storm tracker.
What exactly are we talking about?
Here we go. Here's the storm tracker out there tonight. So we're looking for storms. We're tracking them. That's what we do here in the Weather Center. And right now, things are pretty quiet. We've had a ridge of high pressure in control, keeping things calm, or maybe not calm. We've had some wind here and there, but dry and certainly warm here over the last week or so. We promised you that about a week ago, about 7 to 10 days of dry weather. We're in the midst of that, and we have a couple more days left before the rain returns. And the reason it's going to return is our pattern is finally going to break down. High pressure still kind of sitting here just over Lake Tahoe or so right now, and it weakens a little bit as we head into the day tomorrow, and then further as we head into the day on Thursday. Now, there's still a ridge to our south, but it's opening things up such that the area of storminess out over the Pacific suddenly has a little bit more of a doorway to operate, and maybe more of a path forward to reach the coast, and that it will as we head into the day on Friday. We'll get a cold front that's going to come through Friday afternoon into early Saturday morning, likely to bring light to moderate rain to the region. not flooding or anything like that. Not that I'm seeing anyway so far, but certainly some beneficial rainfall. But, you know, it is an end to this nice, very comfortable weather we've been having as we get back into some stormy weather. Behind that, a cold air mass off to the north will help generate some showers on Saturday and perhaps additional showers on Sunday. We may be having to watch for some thunderstorms in there as well, although nothing extreme expected, but we still could be talking about some isolated lightning, maybe even some small hail and brief downpours. So yeah, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, rain chances returning to the Central Coast. Beyond that, a little murky. There's some potential perhaps on Monday, and then beyond that, we kind of have a ridge sitting off to our southwest. The longer term models are showing us a little cooler and wetter for that week afterward. But again, a pattern change is coming, but not quite yet. Overnight tonight, still looking at high pressure pushing down. You might see a little fog and low cloud cover, perhaps on the south side of the bay into some of the interior valleys. So that may make travel difficult on your way to work tomorrow morning. But not widespread issues I'm expecting. Now during the afternoon tomorrow, mostly sunny skies, a few puffy clouds over the hills, a few low clouds on the coast, and then late in the day tomorrow, I do expect some high clouds to pass through as well, which will color up our sunset tomorrow night. Keep those cameras handy. Sunset watch. I'm issuing a sunset watch for tomorrow night. We want to see your sunset pictures. Could get some good colored ones. Other than that, pretty calm day tomorrow. We'll have a little bit of wind coming in off the water. Temperatures still pretty mild. We're going to be in the mid 70s in Boulder Creek, Scotts Valley in the 70s, up the Summit in the 70s. Cooling a bit down the coast, upper 60s in Santa Cruz and Capitola, which is still pretty seasonable. On the east shore of the bay, we'll see highs in the mid 60s, maybe even a few low 60s in Castroville and Marina. Salinas at 67, a few 70s in our northern valleys. Over to the peninsula and vicinity, we'll expect highs to be in the low to mid 60s for the most part, and then down south, we'll get you into the 70s. So once you get past Gonzales on Highway 101, but no 80s in the forecast tomorrow. We have had a few spots in the 80s over the last couple of days. Let's look at that 7-day forecast though. Okay, so tomorrow, a little bit of wind, a little breezy. Again, fog in the morning, clouds on the increase Thursday, temperature still stable. And then Friday, late in the day, we'll see that rain returning. Expected to be light to moderate on the coast. Windy conditions possible out of the southwest as that system comes through. And then some shower chances Saturday and Sunday. We're watching for thunderstorm chances, but notice those highs below normal, getting chilly behind this system. We'll watch maybe something lingers to Monday, but that's only a couple model runs showing that. But ultimately much cooler weather. Inland areas also a slow cool down here over the next couple of days. Rain possible late on Friday. Most inland areas will probably stay dry for most of the daylight hours Friday, but you might start to see some rain in the north approaching sunset. Beyond that, shower chances through the weekend. Maybe watching for some thunderstorm activity. Again, a big change. Hopefully you enjoyed the dry days. And if you listened to my advice about a week ago, your car probably still looks pretty good after a week of being washed.
We're looking good, and we've enjoyed it.
Oh, yeah, good, I hope.
Yeah, thank you, Dan.
You bet.
It was a day for children to spend at the fairgrounds, from milking cows to planting vegetables. Kids from San Benito County schools here had a learning experience today all about ag, and our chief photographer, Callista Silva, takes us to Farm Day in Tres Pinos.
It's a beautiful day for kids to learn about agriculture in San Benito County.
I'm going to certify you all as professional cow milkers. Are you ready? Yeah.
Ag is still the #1 industry in San Benito County. This is an excellent opportunity for kids to make contact with ag so that they know where their food comes from.
They've been having a lot of fun. Everything I've brought up, asking if they wanted to go look at like cows or anything, I've been getting the whole class screaming, yeah.
Anybody want to try?
Yeah! They're having fun with like the fire equipment. They got to look at search and rescue.
If you get lost, we're going to come find you.
Animals, they got to pet animals. They got to hammer nails in the wood.
The coolest thing that I got to do is watch the guy milk the cow.
This is all exciting. Yeah. This is really, really fun.
It gives us enthusiasm, gives us some encouragement that there are people that are still really interested in ag.
So many oohs and ahs there. The annual event is hosted by the San Benito County Farm Bureau. Now to a different age group here. For the first time ever, Everett High School offering workshops for students known as the Eagle Summit. About 300 students here showed up to take part in workshops on mental health, substance and drug use, human trafficking, and also their career goals.
We want to empower students in not just their academics, but also their social, emotional, and also their community. The school really cares for their mental health and their